Are you a sheep or are you a shepherd? Because I've already proven that the majority of you are sheep. Now let me show you who you betrayed. This individual is a Democrat, not just by registration, but by cultural alignment. They were accepted in black-owned clubs, welcomed in barbershops, referenced in rap lyrics, invited to cookouts, galas, and community events. Jay-Z, Nas, Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne, Diddy, Kanye West, Rick Ross, Ice Cube, Meek Mill, Mac Miller, 50 Cent, and A Tribe Called Quest all reference this person in their lyrics, not as a politician, as a symbol of success, of hustle, of power. They were embraced by the culture, not for policy, but for presence, the business loans. Banks refused. Black entrepreneurs came to this person when banks refused to lend. They listened, funded their businesses, and when those entrepreneurs returned, successful and ready to repay, this person tore up the check. All I want is for you to achieve what you were meant to achieve. This wasn't a one-time gesture. It happened again and again. And the stories are out there, if you're willing to look. Jennifer Hudson's family tragedy. When Jennifer Hudson's family was murdered, this individual gave her and her relatives a private floor in their Chicago hotel, free of charge, no press release, no photo op, just protection. They said, she's a great girl and we're protecting them well. That's it. Jesse Jackson's presidential run. When Jesse Jackson ran for president, this person supported him. Not for political gain, but because they believed in opportunity. Jackson publicly praised this individual for their support of black and minority communities. That footage still exists, but the narrative erased it. The park the city couldn't build. For 6 years, New York City tried to rebuild Wallman Rink in Central Park. They failed. This person stepped in, rebuilt it in 4 months under budget. Ahead of schedule. They didn't do it for profit. They did it to prove a point. Government is inefficient. Private enterprise, when principled, delivers. Housing the homeless in a luxury hotel. In one of their luxury hotels, they offered an entire floor to homeless individuals, not as a stunt, as shelter. Wealthy residents subjected. The city blocked it, but the intent was clear. They were willing to upset the elite to protect the forgotten. The political shift. This individual didn't leave the party. The party left them. They were a Democrat, just like Kennedy, just like the builders of Tulsa's Black Wall Street. But when the party abandoned its principles, they moved on. And when they spoke bluntly, they were called dangerous. When they refused to play the game, they were called divisive. When they helped the wrong people, the ones the elites had written off, they were called racist. But history says otherwise, the final mirror. So now, I ask again, are you a sheep or are you a shepherd? Because the person you were trained to hate was the same person who helped the people you claim to defend. The same person who gave without asking, the same person who built when others failed, the same person who stood alone when the flock turned. You were conditioned to forget, you were programmed to betray, you were hypnotized to obey. He's done more for the black community than most anyone, long before he became president, and when he did become president, he did even more. That is something the media and the political left will always ignore, and all it takes is for you to do your own search. The truth is out there, but many are led by emotion, and even when the truth stares them in the face, they reach for excuses. Just like now, some claim that a recent deal with Israel was noble, forgetting that it involved tearing up part of Israel to hand over to the Palestinian Authority. That will never happen. The deal this individual made was entirely different, but the credit, they can't handle giving it, because once you see the record, the excuses fall apart. Now you know, this was the story of Donald J. Trump, and this was the proof that the majority of you are sheep.